Welcome to Houston Life. It is November 22nd, 2022. I'm Derrick Shore.
And I am Mel Camp. Call me Mel. I'm filling in for our beautiful Courtney Zavala, who is off today.
Yeah, Courtney got a jump on the Thanksgiving vacation with her family. And Mel Camp, how long has it been since you've been in Houston now?
Almost, actually, five months and like a half of a month.
5 months. I feel like you've been here for so much longer than that because you've done so many things. Most recently, you were in Buffalo, New York. But why don't we start your story all the way back where you were born in Perth, Australia?
Oh, that sounds great. Let's go all the way back to where I was born. But yeah, Perth, Australia is my original hometown. I feel like Houston's my hometown now, but oh, what?
Okay, so
oh, no.
This is actually you. This is a picture of baby Mel.
No, I think that's just a random baby. I don't think that's me at all.
Look at those adorable cheeks. Wow. Okay, you're a very, very cute baby.
I think I had food in those cheeks. We'll have to ask my mom.
Maybe you did.
That.
And here you are. Look at this. Long, brunette, curly hair. This is what, at a radio station?
Yes, okay, that was my very first job. I actually worked in radio in Outback, Australia at a station called Power FM. Power.
What kind of music was it?
It was the Hunter's hit music station because it was in the Hunter Valley of Australia, which is a few hours north of Sydney.
Okay, was it like pop though, rock?
Oh yeah, it was like,
country?
The latest music, which I think is like classic tunes. But
do people listen to country music in Australia?
Oh, you know what? They do, but it's not that common. But yeah, we did actually have like rock and country that we would play. So.
Okay, well, you've come to the right place for country music in Texas, and rodeo's only a few months away.
Oh my gosh.
So one of the photos that we just saw was you working in Buffalo, and a lot of folks don't realize, in the snow, you shoot, you write, you edit. Television has sort of evolved over, you don't just sort of show up and read the words.
No.
If you're gonna work in television these days, you gotta do all the jobs behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, you really do. And you tear around. And you turn up a lot of the times with yourself and your camera, and people go, "Where's the cameraman?" You're looking at it.
I am the cameraman, bro. I am the cameraman. Okay, so here's an interesting fact about Mel Camp. Maybe our viewers do not realize. You have a connection to the late, great Heath Ledger.
Yes, look at that. That is Heath Ledger there. Can you believe it?
Okay, so tell us the story behind this photo. What was happening here?
It looks like we're at prom, but we're not. This is actually, we were in the play Bugsy Malone at school together. It was a school play.
Okay, and how did that happen? You both went to the same school?
Well, we did. There was actually, I went to a girls' school, he went to a boys' school, and we were brother-sister school. And so we had all our school socials together, and we did school plays together. Whenever his school needed some girls, we came over and vice versa.
Look at that. Well, he's a legend. I wish he were still with us.
I want to say, he was like a movie star back then. Everybody loved him. He was an amazing person.
I'm sure.
Was just like, everyone would go, "Oh, Heath Ledger's there, Heath Ledger's there," and all the girls had crushes on him. And so he was just like a movie star from day one, which is interesting.
Well, and eventually you got some acting roles as well in television and film, is that right?
Yeah, I dabbled because I went to Los Angeles for a bit. That's where I started in the States. And so when you start in the States and you go to Los Angeles,
you do TV and film.
Yeah, you have to, right?
And then you made your way to Houston eventually.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're so glad to have you here, Mel.
So glad
and it's so much fun watching you on the show and experiencing Houston through a fresh set of eyes because there is so much to do and see here. You brought some very special props to share with us today on Houston Life. And you also brought some very special guests. We'll meet them in a little bit. But first of all, tell us what you brought because you know, we're not afraid to drink in here on Houston.
Well, that's
Life.
why I thought I couldn't come on the show with
empty-handed.
Empty-handed. So I come bearing gifts. I'm sorry I can't pour this down the camera into your mouth, but you know what? You can check these out. You can check these out at Platypus because I discovered a local brewery. This beer is brewed in Houston, but there are a bunch of Australians who do it.
Yeah, and the label says brewed with Texan heart and Australian soul.
Yep.
So a bunch of Aussies got together and created a brewery?
Yeah, Morgan, Sean and Roshana, they're two Aussies and an Aussie American because Roshana is actually from Sugarland.
Oh, okay.
But she married an Aussie, so now she's Aussie.
And they decided they wanted to make Aussie tasting beer right here in Texas.
Yeah.
So what makes it Aussie beer?
Well, apparently this one that you've got, this is the Bobby Dazzler. Bobby Dazzler. Can you say, don't pronounce the R?
That was my nickname in high school.
Bobby Dazzler, cheers.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh my gosh, this is actually the first time I tried it. This tastes like Australian beer.
What kind of Australian are you? First time trying their beer.
Oh my
Their label's really
I
cute
wanted
too.
to be surprised.
Okay, and then Mexican-style lager. So this was a blonde ale. Here's a Mexican-style lager, 6% alcoholic.
Cheers.
Cheers. And you know what's great about this? I feel like it maybe gives you a taste of home. Yeah?
Oh, yum.
Does that remind you
It
of
does
home?
actually. Well, particularly this Bobby Dazzler, for sure. You know what? I think I'm gonna get Mum to come. Mum, where are you, Mum?
Okay, Mom
Hey,
Susan
Mom.
is in the house. We can't drink
She's
alone.
hungry.
Hi, Mom. How are you?
Hi, Derrick. Hi, Mel.
I met Susan earlier. She's lovely. You can see the resemblance. And you brought a bag of goodies.
Goodies.
A little.
And these are
Yeah.
Aussie
It's Aussie
candies
beer.
we can find in the States?
Cheers.
Good.
No, not really.
You cannot get this.
You can't find them at any specialty
Probably
stores.
Tim
even.
Tams you can.
Tim Tams.
I had to get Mum to bring Tim Tams, but I think a few of us know
Yeah.
what Tim Tams taste like. But these are the funny cookies that I thought you should try. Well, we call them biscuits, don't we, Mum?
We do, and these have been Mel's favourites long before she made it to the States.
Okay, it's called a wagon wheel. What's the story behind a wagon wheel? And biscuits, I think for the term, a lot of Americans think of a biscuit as being
Like a scone.
not a dessert.
Yeah.
But this really is a cookie.
Yep. It's a sweet treat
Oh, wow.
for Derrick. All the way
Okay.
from Australia, Perth actually, so it's come
Yeah.
extra far.
It's almost like a graham cracker with a marshmallow and jam in the middle.
That'd be
Coated
right.
with chocolate.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's like so good. I don't know why they're not here. They're my fave. They're delicious. I
Okay,
hate when
very
it's-
nice.
Talking of faves, I believe, Derrick, you've got a bit of a soft spot for the old Vegemite.
Vegemite.
So this is a special treat for you.
That is so sweet. How many of our viewers know Vegemite? So I remember the first time, I've been to Australia a couple times, and Vegemite has, how would you describe the flavor? It's sort of salty,
Yep.
and people would spread it on toast.
It's bitter. It's actually really bitter. You know what?
No wonder I like it.
Salty and
It's
bitter.
just like me, salty and bitter.
Boom, boom, doom. Oh wait, that was I was trying to do. Ba-dum, boom,
Ba-dum,
tish.
ba-dum, ba-dum.
Yeah.
That was a
Kind
boom
of-
tish.
It's a pungent flavour. I know pungent's a smell, but it's a bit harsh.
It's very intense. Come over to my house. I'll share
Do you
some
know,
of my Vegemite.
here's an interesting fact about these guys that actually go together. Vegemite is it still? It's a byproduct of making beer.
Yeah,
It's like a
making
ye-
alcohol,
it's
the
a-
yeasty, the vitamin B side. of it.
Yeasty, that's a great way to
Yeah.
describe it. Okay,
Sounds terrible. Salty, bitter, yeasty. Try it. You'll love it.
you just have
Or
to
not.
try it. Okay, so Mom
full of
Susan,
vitamin B.
we got to take this chance to get to know you
Yeah.
and Mel a little better because
Yeah.
growing up, we saw some adorable photos of Mel as a young baby, you know, with the chubby cheeks.
They were my
so
real
cute.
cheeks.
They
weren't
were her real cheeks.
But there are siblings involved in the family,
are,
right? So
yeah.
this is the whole family here.
Oh yeah, and the dog.
Rafiki.
Who do we see in this photo here?
Well, starting at the bottom left, so probably you're right, is the youngest Tom.
Okay.
And then we've got half of Georgie, and then Simon, who's number 2, and Victoria, or Tookie as we call her, who's the youngest daughter, and then Mel.
Okay, so
So-
5 siblings then.
5 kids.
Wait, what? So Victoria's name is Tookie? What does that mean?
Tookie. Came from, in Australia, we don't call chickens or hens chickens, we call them chooks.
Oh.
And she had a thing for chooks, but she couldn't say it very well, so she called them tuk-tuks, so we called her Tookie.
So Tookie, yeah,
Yeah.
Aussies. I love a good Aussie
Yeah.
nickname.
So
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
that
everyone
happened.
gets a nickname.
And sister Georgie is getting married next year. I
Yeah, in
understand.
March. Yes, yeah. And a very remote beach on the south coast
Look,
of
there's
Western
some little
Australia.
Georgie.
Yeah.
And what was Mel like as a child, Susan? Because going into show business, television,
Yeah.
film, that's alarming for a lot of parents, right?
Yeah, no, I think she was genetically programmed for it. Basically, Mel was born talking, and even when she slept, she would talk.
I'm
so-
shocked.
Really?
I'm
I know.
shocked.
I talk to my sleep
We
alarm.
share an
You
office,
did.
Susan. I get it. I get
know.
it.
So you might think, God, she's good at sort of segueing and ad-libbing. Mel just never shut up.
Oh,
I don't segue ad-lib, I just keep going.
well, and it really is true. When the moment Mel started here in Houston, Houston Life, you can talk to anyone. I mean, I've been to events with Mel, and I feel like you've never met a stranger you didn't already know.
There's that. Yeah, Mel has a natural warmth, always has, but she's interested in everyone and everything.
Yeah.
So she finds people fascinating, and I guess that's why it works in a job like this.
A
a career like
natural
this.
curiosity
Yeah.
about people in the world. Are you
I think
embarrassed?
I don't know, I didn't mind. I was like, I think I should come on this show more often.
Oh. And do you think you got that from your mom?
Oh yeah, actually no, Mum. People say that you are like very social. I mean, I think you probably don't think.
I'm just nosy, I reckon, guys. I just
No.
I think you would have been a better reporter than me because you're always
yeah. Well,
knowing all the business.
I just need to know. You know, I think I would have been good as an ASIO or
a spy.
spy. Yeah.
Okay.
really
Yeah.
Well, I think you're good on TV. You're on live TV
Particularly-
right now, and it's
Yeah,
going
actually. Did
just
you have
fine.
beer, Mum?
Yeah,
Did you have some
I did
beer?
have a sip, Lovey, and it was
Okay.
actually
Yeah, have two
really
beers.
good.
You
Cheers,
call
my
him Lovey.
dear.
Here, you drink one of those because I'm just
wanna-
drinking this.
This is the
Cheers.
freckled. This is the freckled dingo. This one we didn't get to try this one.
Also, one of my nicknames in high school. Okay, Susan, sit
one.
tight. Your husband Peter is here.